The Bible says. In Romans 12 verse 1, the Apostle Paul makes a heartfelt appeal to believers. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. This single verse encapsulates the essence of Christian discipleship, a life wholly surrendered to God in response to His overwhelming mercy. Paul begins with the word beseech, expressing not a command, but a passionate plea. He appeals to the believers not by law or duty, but by the mercies of God. This phrase points back to the previous chapters of Romans, where Paul unfolds the gospel of grace, salvation, justification, and adoption into God's family. The mercy of God becomes the foundation and motivation for everything that follows. He then urges believers to present your bodies a living sacrifice. In the Old Testament, sacrifices were offered on altars, dead animals given to God as a sign of devotion or atonement. But Paul redefines this concept. Instead of a dead offering, God desires a living sacrifice, a life actively given over to Him in every moment, every decision, and every action. This involves our physical bodies, representing the totality of our being, offered not in part but wholly. This sacrifice is to be holy, acceptable unto God. Holiness means being set apart for God's purposes, living in a way that reflects His character. What is acceptable to God is not perfection, but sincerity, purity, and obedience. When we yield ourselves fully to Him, we align with His will and bring Him delight. Finally, Paul calls this act our reasonable service. Some translations render it spiritual worship. The Greek word used, logikn, implies that this is the logical, rational response to God's mercy. True worship is not confined to songs or ceremonies, but is expressed through lives that are daily surrendered to God. Romans 12 verse 1 calls every believer to a lifestyle of worship, not merely through ritual but through radical, continual devotion. It is an invitation to live sacrificially, not out of obligation, but out of love for the one who gave everything for us.